Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about assessments using the Connect, Extend, and Challenge for assessments. Um, I never really knew much about testing besides the fact that I didn't like them. I was always very scared of them because I never really did well. I knew that I always had to take an SAT, midterm, a final, an entrance exam, but I never knew really what they were measuring or how each of them differed from each other. During reading this chapter, I came across the differences and was able to distinguish which one was which. First, I want to talk about the achievement test. Achievement tests measure the extent to which a person has acquired certain information. So when I think about this, I think about midterms and finals when I was in middle school and high school, where a midterm would test us on things we learned from the beginning of the school year to the midpoint being December, and then the final from that point on to the end of the school year. It would test us to see what we knew and what we learned throughout the year and would determine if we passed or failed and had to go to summer school. An aptitude test would be like an entrance exam where you would go to college. For example, if you went to Miami-Dade and you knew you were going to go to there, you didn't really need to take an SAT or an FCAT when I started, and you would have to take an entrance exam, and you take the exam, and based on your scores, they kind of put you and they place you into a class where they think that you will succeed. Or if you don't do well, then they put you in a class where you learn the basics and then you build your way up. So that's what an aptitude test is. It measures the potential to learn or develop proficiency. So now I want to talk about the validity and reliability of tests because I think that's very important. I think that's something that I wanted to extend on and learn more about. One second, I'm trying to get to it. So the validity is the degree into which the test serves the purpose for which it is extended to be used, and the reliability is to the extent of which a test is stable or consistent. So I think all tests need to have both because it's really bright. Because if we don't, then first of all, why are we giving these tests? And if they're not consistent, then how are we measuring it? I know that I never really liked getting tests that it didn't measure anything. Why am I taking it? What does it go towards? And all my tests needed to be consistent. I liked knowing how long it was going to take, what it was going to be. Are they all the same? So I think they're both indicators of the test dependability, and they're very important in determining the quality of the test. One thing I did notice about this is for the infants, there's so many different types of tests, and as I was reading about it, the ages and stages questionnaire, that is actually something that I learned about today that the Montessori at my school uses to for the Montessori students to enter into the school. The parents have to do this with their children and report it to the teachers. So I thought that was very cool. One question I do have is how the infants' tests, does it differ between the different children? How do you measure and do the testing when it's a neonatal? Let's see what other questions I had written down here. Oh, language testing. I would like to learn more about that. And I would also like to learn more about the standardized testing between the different states. I know I heard some teachers talking about it the other day, that how can you give a test that's talking about, let's say a standardized test is talking about snow and what you need to do, or driving in the snow, and we live here in Miami and we've never experienced snow. How is that, how is the child going to be able to get that right, and vice versa? So I guess that's one of my questions, like the testing nationwide, how does that work, who creates it? So yeah, that's basically it.